Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cadence, and if you're new here, I'm happy to have you. Today, we are doing a video that I have been very nervous to film over the last week, which is why I'm quitting Natacha Oceane's Build.Reload workout program. I love Natacha. I love everything she stands for. I've been following her channel since I was in high school. I absolutely love that she is bringing science and research into the fitness world. It's one of my goals with my channel to do the same as well. So I love her. I love supporting her, but I want to go through the reasons today why I am quitting her Build.Reload workout program. Now, you may have seen my week 1 review of the program, and at that point I was really enjoying it. I am now 50% of the way through the program. I've completed the full weeks 1 through 6, and I am stopping there for now. Just for now. Before we get into it, I want to give a quick overview of the program. The main goal of this program, as the title suggests, is to build muscle. I chose to do this program initially because one of my goals for this summer was to build muscle. Previously, I have done her Cut Reload program. If you're interested in watching that, I will link it down in the description and up in the cards. I did a full review of Cut Reload as well. This program includes 5 days of workouts, 4 of which are required and 1 of which is optional. I've done the optional workout every week so far because I wanted to be able to give a complete review of the program as a whole. Let's be clear. There are so many things that I have loved about this program. If you're interested in hearing more of those, I did a week 1 review of the program. I will link it in the description. I'll actually have it pop up at the end of the video if you want to just play it straight after. That focuses more on the positives and a lot of the things that I was enjoying about the program overall, the structure. I talk about the athlete app a little bit. Whereas this video will be a little bit more focused on why I'm not continuing. Just to highlight a few of the positives, the video demonstrations are super high quality and they're amazing. The programs, like the workouts, are thoughtfully crafted, and there's a ton of variety in there. They're highly functional and athletic. They're interesting, they're based in science, and I just really love supporting Natacha by purchasing her programs because I love what she's doing in the fitness space. I want to touch quickly on something I didn't really touch on in my first video, which is the nutrition guide included with this program. Now, I personally think that this program would be completely worth the money if you only use the nutrition guide, if you didn't even do any of the workouts. It's approved by a registered dietitian who works with Olympic gold medalists, so she is the real deal. The nutrition guide is gold. It is solid gold. For me, a lot of it was reviewed because I have a good amount of knowledge in the area of nutrition already. I did learn a ton from the guide, even though I did have kind of like that background knowledge to start with. I love that it is science-based, it's research-backed, and it's focused on sustainability and enjoyment. It's detailed, the graphic design is beautiful, it's fun to read, and it's super informative, so 10 out of 10 for the nutrition guide. That said, let's get into it why I'm quitting the program. So she mentions in her launch video for the program, which is like a video focused on the science of building muscle, that we see increases in muscle gain up to 12 sets per muscle per week. But after that, the research is unclear whether we are seeing additional gains or not. Maybe I'm confused, but I found myself doing way more than 12 sets per muscle per week throughout this program. I'm gonna use one workout from the program as an example. This was a lower body day. In that one workout, there were 20 sets targeting hamstrings and glutes. In one workout alone, 20 sets. Not to mention the other workout days, which also include leg, like the strength and power day include leg workouts, and the full body day includes leg workouts as well. So what the heck, man? I'm trying to figure out, like, the math isn't mathing on the 12 sets per muscle per week thing. It could be my fault. Maybe I am missing something, because I trust Miss Natacha with my life. I really do. The other thing that was a problem for me was how long the workouts were taking. So in theory, the workouts, they have a little like amount of time it'll take on the top of each workout. And as far as I remember, all of them are supposed to take 60 minutes or less. And I did not find that to be the case. I did not find it to be even close to 60 minutes most of the time. It was so much more. And oftentimes I would cut things out that I think are really important and valuable, such as, honestly, sometimes I would cut out my warm-ups. But let's do some math here. You will see more muscle gains if you rest more because you're able to put more power into the movement when you're rested. So she recommends more than 60 seconds of rest between sets. So let's do like a low estimate of 1.5 minutes. For an average workout, that means that you'll be resting for 36 minutes in the workout. Let's say each exercise takes about 30 seconds, which means 12 minutes of exercising. I also estimated about 16 minutes of walking around the gym, finding the right equipment, setting it up, waiting for people to give up their squat racks. So I estimated that at about 2 minutes per exercise, because often you don't use the same equipment throughout her workouts because they are so varied. You end up kind of like running around the gym trying to find different equipment and stuff. Let's assume a 10-minute mobility warm-up and then about 5 minutes of stretching and cooling down afterwards. That puts us at 80 minutes. And I think in many of those areas, these estimates were conservative, especially rest. Like if you're really pushing yourself, often, especially with a compound movement, I'll find I need a lot more than 1.5 minutes of rest. So conservative estimates estimate 80 minutes. So that's much higher than the estimate that she includes in the program. And that was a really big problem for me because I work a 9 to 5 and I work out in the morning before work. So I'm already getting up at 5:45 or 6 a.m. every day. So I don't really have any extra wiggle room, any extra time to be in the gym for more than an hour. So one thing she mentions in her launch video for Build.Reload is that she likes to keep it tight. She likes to keep her workouts short and sweet and likes to reduce the number of reps. But it's really interesting because I think part of it is like she's trying to go for variety here, which is awesome for a lot of people. I'll touch more on that later. But because of that, sometimes you'll be doing 15 to 16 reps per side, and I do not really have time for that, honestly. In my week 1 review, I assumed there was going to be as much variety in this program as there was in the Cut Reload program, and I have not found that to be true. I found a little bit more repetition, a lot more reusing of movements. Workouts are kind of feeling similar. So if variety is your ultimate goal, of the two that I've tried, Cut Reload had so much variety. Like, I don't think a single, like, many of the exercises, I only did them once or twice throughout the entire 12-week program, whereas now, even just at week 6, I'm starting to see lots of repeats. And my one problem with this is that I found if there was an exercise I didn't really like, either because it just didn't feel good on my body or it looked kind of weird. You know, sometimes when you're doing athletic movements, they look a little bit weird. Or maybe it required some certain kind of like special equipment that was being used often. Like, then that would annoy me if I'm seeing that exercise every week over and over because I don't really love it. In terms of calories burned, the one issue I had was with the upper body days. Now, I think it's a little bit tougher to do compound movements for just like targeting your upper body. I think a lot of compound movements target mainly your lower body, but I found that I burned half as many calories on upper body days compared to full body and lower body days. So normally full body and lower body, I burned between 200 and 300 calories per workout. If it was a really great one, sometimes I could get up to 4, but that was pretty unusual. Whereas with upper body days, I would only burn between 100 and 180, which is pretty disappointing because I would train as close as I could to failure. The types of exercises included, maybe they just weren't working for me. Like, I can't do many push-ups. Even when I do them assisted, I can't do many push-ups. So maybe I'm part of the problem there, but I just didn't find the upper body days to be anywhere near as effective as the full lower body days. One thing I was super pumped about in my week 1 review video was that she included, at least in week 1, she included a warm-up building up to your working weight for squats. So I think it was something like 20%, 50%, 80%, and then you started your squats. And I loved that that was built into the workout itself. That was not something that continued throughout the program, unfortunately. Here and there, it was really interesting. It almost makes me think it was a mistake or something, because here and there would be squats that just had like 3 sets, so you had to kind of build up to your working weight yourself, which would take extra time, which means you had to either rush through or cut things out from the rest of the workout. And I really wish that she had done the warm up to your working weight for every time that you do squats, every time that you do deadlifts. I just thought it was kind of strange. It's like, are warm-ups only important sometimes? Like, it was just a little bit confusing. But let's talk about one specific workout. It included squats, deadlifts, lunges, holding the barbell in front of you, and hip thrusts. And on top of that, there were 3 other exercises included in the workout. And I could not, first of all, those are all very compound movements that require, at least in my experience, a good amount of rest in between them and a lot of warm up to your working weight. I struggled. I rushed through all of them. It would have been a much more effective workout if there were less exercises total in the workout. Like, those other 3 exercises I think were totally unnecessary. Honestly, I probably could have filled a full hour with just a couple of those compound exercises mentioned, but some of the workout structures were just a little weird for me, honestly, just because including that many compound movements in one workout on top of a bunch of other like more accessory type movements was just really odd. And for me, it was really ineffective, because what that meant is I was rushing around the gym trying to set up and do all of these different exercises. So I didn't really break a sweat or get up to a high enough working weight or put in enough effort to see really great results. I was kind of just running around trying to get everything done. So I think if the focus was more on like high quality, well-rested, lower amount of sets, lower amount of exercises, that would be a lot better for me personally than kind of the format, at least for this one leg workout, the format that included like lots of different stuff. I'm not sure how she generates her like estimated how long the workout is gonna take, but maybe she goes to a small gym or maybe she goes to a private gym, but when you're in a large public gym, you really need to account for all of the time, like walking around, setting up, and waiting for equipment. Like, we only have so many squat racks, and there are tons of people at my gym, so you often have to wait and things like that. So another thing that frustrated me is sometimes you would like use a squat rack and then later in the workout use a landmine. And it's like, if I didn't look in advance and know that I would need to use that landmine later, that's so annoying because I gave up my squat rack and then I have to go back and wait for one again. So I wish that she had grouped together, and I'm sure that she orders them in a way that's most effective, like physically, but I wish she had grouped them more for like ease of use in the gym. It would be really nice if they were grouped together by the equipment that you are using, just because in a large commercial gym, it's kind of unrealistic to be running around. Like, that takes up a lot of time. And sometimes, honestly, the exercises were just a little too functional for me. So I would spend so much time figuring out how to do these more athletic movements that I was not focused on progressive overload, adding weight, and just doing the things that you need to do to build muscle. Based on my goals right now, I would personally prefer to pick a few key exercises, really work on progressive overload and weight, and sort of like build those exercises up week after week, time after time. All of this like bouncing around between different exercises within the same workout, but also within the program, makes it difficult, at least for me, to track my progressive overload and my progression. Whereas like if I'm doing a hip thrust every week, it's very easy to week over week compare your growth and progression. I am planning to come back to these more athletic functional workouts once I have built some muscle, but for now, I feel like it's honestly just impeding me from that goal of building muscle. So I am taking a pause on the more athletic functional style of training, at least for now. Let's talk about results. This part is a little bit sad. In terms of results, let's just say I wasn't losing inches on my waist. I wasn't seeing gains. I saw no change in my body, which is a little bit upsetting after 6 weeks. I know I probably would have seen more results if I go through the full 12-week program, but another thing to consider, I did a little bit of traveling, I did move, so, you know, I was doing some takeout. So I don't think the lack of results is necessarily Natasha's fault. I don't think it's her fault at all. Nutrition is such an important aspect of seeing results. It just is frustrating that I feel like I put in a lot of time and effort and I haven't seen the results from it, but I think that is mainly my own fault and not the program's fault. Let's talk about what I'm doing instead. So from now on, I will be building my own program. I'm gonna be focusing on doing 3 to 5 exercises per workout, so a pretty big reduction from her average. I think is usually somewhere between like 6 and 10 exercises per workout, depending on what it is. So much less than that. The way I'm gonna structure it is getting a really good compound lift in at the beginning, something like squats or deadlifts, things like that. And then do a couple of more targeted like accessory muscle exercises, and I'm going to try to avoid spending lots of time running around in the gym, so focusing on more sets as needed versus doing lots of different exercises with less sets. I don't have a lot of time to work out in the morning, so I just want to really maximize my time. I'm hoping to use some of that extra time to incorporate mobility warm-ups every single day. I've been learning lately how important mobility is to prevent injury and just make you feel good, so I really want to incorporate that, and I think if I'm running around the gym a little bit less, then I will be able to do that more effectively, add that at the beginning of my workout. One of the things that a lot of people love about this program is the variety, but for me, it's just not working right now. So I'm gonna reduce the variety, kind of cycle through the same exercises week after week so that I can see that progression and that growth a little bit easier, and so I can like perfect my form in these core exercises like squats and deadlifts and hip thrusts and things like that. And we were cycling through so many different exercises in this program. I struggled to feel like I had time to really perfect my form because I would do an exercise and then I wouldn't see it again for like 3 weeks. Trying new movements and perfecting them takes time, which I don't have when I'm working out in the morning before work. So I want to stick to things that I know already like decently well, and I'm just trying to kind of like take to the next level and perfect, versus like trying completely new things, because that takes a lot more time and honestly just mental energy for me as well. Do I recommend this program? Yes, I absolutely do. I think you should consider all the things that I've mentioned. I think this program is amazing for a certain group of people. I think the nutrition guide is amazing for everyone, and I'm so glad to have that. But I think the workout program fits a specific group of people best. If you love variety, if you love trying new things, if that's the kind of thing that gets you into the gym and makes you happy, then this would be a great program for you. If you get bored doing the same exercises over and over, and if you love functional, more athletic training, then this is for you. Right now, I feel like I don't have that strong base and that strong foundation, at least at the level that I want to. So I want to work on that and then circle back to more athletic functional training. I'm also really enjoying writing my own workouts right now, and I know it's a pain for a lot of people, and in the past, I hated it. I hated hated trying to come up with what I was doing. I'm sure at some point I will want to come back to this program and I will be dying to not figure out my own workouts. But for now that I've done a couple of different programs, I've been working out in the gym for several years at this point, I feel like I have tons of exercises that I can pull from, and I'm starting to also learn like what's most effective for what, like if you want to build your glutes, what you should be doing, etc. So I'm having fun putting it together. But yeah, I absolutely love Natacha. I have enjoyed many aspects of this program, and I am in full support of anyone who is interested going out and trying this, because her programs, her content, her channel has made a huge impact on me. So yeah, nothing but love for Natacha and for her programs and all that she does. Okay, that is it from me. If you have any questions about the program, about my experience, please leave a comment down below and I will be happy to answer. If you have any video requests, also leave them down below. I would love to hear what you guys want to see next. If you're interested in seeing more from me, hit subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and I will see you next time.